Hello friends, this is my third video and the topic is SDLC models, software development life cycle model. So what is it stands for? Let's see. Software development life cycle model is a conceptual framework describing the activities from the planning till the delivery of the software. Again, the question is which SDLC model is the best one? So, answer is there is no any model which is perfect for all types of requirement. But currently, most of the organizations are using agile model, which is able to deal any types of customers requirement, any types of business requirement, and following agile model, organizations are able to deliver the project on time, within quality and within budget. So uh, so agile is not a single model which is used into the software engineering department. So starting from the history of software engineering, waterfall model is the first one which was used by the organizations for their software development process. So let's see what is waterfall model. So waterfall model, you can say this is the first model used by the organization to develop their software. Okay. So in all the models there is one thing common, that is phases of SDLC. Either we are talking about the waterfall, prototyping, iterative enhancement model, yeah, agile model, phases of SDLC are common. So in the same way, waterfall model contains all the phases of SDLC. Let's see, let's try to understand waterfall model by just making a diagram of the waterfall model. So the first phase of waterfall model is feasibility study. Second phase is analysis. Third is design. Fourth is coding. Fifth is testing. Sixth is deployment and maintenance. Deployment and maintenance. Okay. So waterfall model, you can say it's a linear model. Linear means one phase at a time. Okay. So this can be also called as linear model. This is also called as sequential model. Yeah, in some of the book you can find linear sequential model. So waterfall means what? The phases of SDLC works like a flow. Flow means if I'm talking of flow of the water, so it is always coming from top to bottom. It is not possible to throw from bottom to top. Okay. By default, it is coming from top to bottom. So if any organization who is following waterfall model during software development process, they need to follow the phases of SDLC in a sequential manner, in a linear manner. Okay. So in this model, the first phase is feasibility study. Once feasibility study is 100% completed, this phase will be freezed, and then we can only proceed for the next phase. So once this phase is 100% completed, then we can move towards analysis phase. In the same way, when analysis phase is 100% completed, we can move towards designing phase. So in this model, we see that we are proceeding for the next phase only when the current phase is 100% completed. So after designing, coding, testing and deployment and maintenance will be done, and all these activities will be done in a sequence order, one phase at a time. Okay. So this serves as a very simplest model, especially for the small level project. So waterfall model, you can see this is one of the early used model and suggested by software engineering. Okay. So this is something about the waterfall model. So in this model, there is no provision to move towards backward direction. Like if the team is corresponding to design phase and customer is coming with some new set of requirement or some changes into the existing requirement, this is not possible, because if there is any new requirement coming, definitely that should be treated from the feasibility study, then designing, and so on. But if that phases are already completed and freezed, we cannot again make any modification into the prior one. So the idea is like if the development company is corresponding to coding or testing phase, and if customer is coming with new set of requirement, yeah, with any modification required into the existing requirement, it is not possible. Waterfall model does not allow such types of provision during software development. So yeah, if you are okay to proceed further, if you are okay to proceed, like if you are okay that yeah, we need to add some modification suggested by the client or some new requirement suggested by the client into the existing development process. So what we have to do in that case, we have to restart the process. Means if you are corresponding to coding phase and customer is coming with a new set of requirement, then in that case we need to restart the work from the feasibility study phase. So again, it's a problem because we are corresponding to coding phase and we restarted our work from the feasibility study. So this will directly impact the schedule, cost and delivery of the project. Okay. So this is something about the waterfall model. This is very simple in nature. This is linear model, one phase at a time. When development team is working corresponding to any particular phase, no need to worry about the other phases. Just focus on the current phase, complete it 100%, then think about the other phases. Okay. So that is something about the waterfall model, which was used as a first model and suggested by the software engineering. So after the waterfall model, need to understand the advantage and disadvantage of this model. Okay. So let's see what is the advantage and disadvantage of this model. This is very important. So advantage. First advantage is it is simple and easy to use. because the focus of development team is at one phase corresponding to their own process. So simple and easy to use. Simple and easy to use. Second, it's easy to manage because since we are not okay to take any new requirement during the development, so management will be very simple. So easy to manage. Third point, this model is applicable for the small size project where requirements are limited. This cannot be used for the larger project, for high risky project, because in that type of project requirements are will be changing rapidly. So third point will be good for a small project. Okay. Next advantage, initial investment will be very low because the other persons into the software development like QA and maintenance team can be built later on, because to start waterfall model, initially testing and maintenance team will not be required because they are generally involved at the fourth phase. Okay, just after coding they are going to involve. So you can say into the waterfall model, one of the most advantages is that initial investment is very low. Like with this small investment, this type of development process can be initiated, can be started. So initial investment is very low. Is very low. So these are the main advantages of using waterfall model. Let's see the disadvantage of waterfall model. Disadvantage of waterfall model. First point, not good for big project, a critical project, not good for large project. Second, no working software can be released early, like no prototype can be delivered to the client until it is completed fully. So no working software can be released early. Means if customer is looking for prototype just to evaluate whether the development is actually working on that requirement which they raised. So always there is a doubt, maybe that after completing the whole software, when it is given to the client is saying, no, I did not requested for such a software. So that's again an issue. So in this waterfall model, if customer is looking for prototype and early working software, it cannot be released. Okay. Third point, you can say in this model, no changes into the requirements are accepted, or no new requirements can be adopted during the development. Once the requirement has been phrased and development company has proceed for design or coding phase, no further requirement can be added or no further changes can be accepted into this model. So always this is very you can say it's a major problem into the waterfall model, that if customer is coming with new set of requirement during development and requirement phase has been phrased, it is not possible. So no requirements changes can be accepted if feasibility study phase is completed. You can also say not only new requirement, changes or changes into the requirement. Changes into the requirements. Okay. So if customer is making any changes during the development, it is not possible. To adopt during development. So this is principle about the waterfall model. This is the simplest model, and you can say earliest model and first model used by the software company to make the software for the end users. Okay. So this was something about the waterfall model. Waterfall model, you can say it initiated the use of models first, and company really thought that models are generally it's a good principles, it's a good framework provided by software engineering, which generally provide a guidelines like how to actually handle the customer's requirement, since customers have different types of requirement. So based on customers requirement, time to time software engineering release different types of SDLC models. So the first model was waterfall model. I think it's very clear now. Thanks for watching this video for waterfall model. Definitely I will come with new set of videos in coming days. If you like this video, please subscribe and continue watching and continue following my channel. Thanks a lot.